and welcome back to The Books Are Everywhere. So welcome back to another weekly reading vlog. It is not quite Monday, but I am doing better than last week because I didn't start last week's vlog until Thursday. But today's Tuesday, so we're doing okay. It's Tuesday morning. Welcome to another week. I was gonna have yesterday off, but I ended up being called into work to cover a shift because somebody was ill, so I ended up working, which is why I didn't vlog yesterday, because I just worked and then came home. So I thought I would start today because I actually have most of this week off. Me and my mom are actually going to London this weekend. I have not been to London since March 2020. In the 6 months before the pandemic, I actually spent a lot of time in the city for the first time in my life, and I was there basically every week or two for various things. So it is weird to have not been for a year and a half. And I still feel like I know the city fairly well, but obviously things will have changed and it's been a long time since I went. So I'm a little bit nervous for that, to see how it is. I'm very excited. My mum hasn't been for probably since she was about my age to the actual like city itself, city centre, so it's going to be interesting, but it's hopefully going to be really nice, and hopefully I'll get to finish and hopefully I'll get to visit a few bookshops that I haven't seen in a long time, which I'm very, very excited for and scared because I think I'm going to want to buy all of the books. But anyway, that's a little sneak preview of what is coming up later in this video, but for now I will update you on what I'm currently reading. It is actually scaring me how close we are to the end of the month, and I still need to read like 4 books, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it feels like a lot, especially because we only have like just over a week or something. So I'm a little bit scared, but let's dive into what I'm currently reading. So I'm currently reading 2 books and I'm about to start another book. I'm currently reading This Poison Heart. I'm doing a buddy read of this one with Alex, and I'm currently here just over 100 pages in, and I absolutely love this so far. I really liked Cinderella is Dead, which is also by this author, and that was a Cinderella retelling. This is kind of a loose Secret Garden retelling, which I absolutely love. Breesis, the main character, can grow plants. It is her gift, it's her kind of magical power, but this book is set in the present day, in real life, the real world, which is interesting to read about, but I am really enjoying it so far because it reads very easy, because it reads like in contemporary, but then Breesis also has this magical power, which I find really interesting. So she inherits a big old house in the country, and her and her parents kind of move out there for the summer to explore this big old house, and things start happening in that house, especially with the plant life around there, and it is just super interesting so far. It's so easy to read. I love Breesis as a main character, and her moms are adorable as well, and I love their relationship. And I'm just very excited to read more. I'm finding myself like really getting into this now. So we have another kind of 30 pages-ish to read today. We're reading this over 5 days, which I don't think will be a problem at all because it is super easy to read. So I'm also reading Jay's Gay Agenda on audiobook, and I have to say, it's not good. Like, it's not bad, but it's not great. But I picked up this hardback a couple of weeks ago because it's really pretty, and the Under the Dust jacket's also really pretty. But I should have honestly listened to my heart because I was so umming and ahhing about picking this one up in the first place because I'd heard things about it that I didn't think would sit well with me, and they don't. So it's hard to kind of talk about it without giving spoilers, but Jay is not a great person. Like, I kind of understand why things are happening the way they are. At the end of the day, he's a horny 18-year-old boy. I think he's 18? 17 maybe? But there is a lot of stuff in here that doesn't sit right with me. I feel like he's leading somebody along. I feel like he's not being honest with himself or anybody else around him. He lies to people. I really struggle to like books when I don't like the main character, and there isn't a lot of times where I really dislike him, but there isn't enough times where I really dislike him because of his actions, and I hope by the end of this book that he's going to realise that what he's doing is wrong. He does carry around this inherent sense of guilt, but it still doesn't sit right with me. I am this far through the book right now, so I'm quite far through. I'm probably going to finish it tomorrow, I think, but it's not, yeah, it doesn't sit right with me so far. Anyway, there is also like another thing that I've been thinking about a lot with this book, and that is the fact that Max, who is one of the side characters, identifies as genderqueer. And early on in this story, they have this conversation, Jay and Max, about Max's pronouns, and Max says, and I will try and find the actual wording so you can judge it for yourself a little bit. Okay, so the actual wording of this conversation is Jay says, "Cool, I go by he, him pronouns, and I'm a total safe space if you ever want to share yours. Max gave me an oh, aren't you cute look. There's never a way to broach this topic without it sounding clinical, is there? And I'm an open book, so none of the pronouns really feel 100% right. You can address your gay guide as he, him, or she, her. My body is male, my energy is feminine, and I'm down for paying tribute to both." Got it, I said. So, that happened quite early on in the book, and then since then Max has only been referred to as he, him. Obviously I haven't finished the book, and there is still conversations going on between Jay and Max about Max's gender identity. However, I just don't get it. Like, if you're going to give a character multiple pronouns, use the multiple pronouns, even if that is in the sense of the side characters using those pronouns. Like, if the book takes a stance on only calls Max he, him, whatever, at least have some of the side characters refer to Max as she, her, because what's the point in having that conversation in the first place? And I also feel like it just really doesn't sit right with me, and I don't know where it's come from, because I have looked it up and the author actually uses the same pronouns as Max, and uses both he, him and she, her. So I feel like this is something that wouldn't have come from the author, and therefore it does worry me slightly that it's come from a different place in the publishing line, like it's in the editor or whatever. But it just doesn't sit right with me, and it feels really odd, and I don't know. Let me know your thoughts if you have read this book, because it's something that did stand out to me, and I have referred back to that original conversation quite a few times, and I've talked to a few people about it, and I just don't really get it, why that conversation would have happened and then they only refer to Max as he, him, because I feel like you either do one or the other, right? But that's just the way I'm feeling about it right now. I would love to hear other people's thoughts on that if you have any. But yeah, this book is mixed, problematic. I am enjoying it to a degree, and I do want to keep reading, and I do want to find out what happens. And the audiobook is really, really good as well. But there is a lot that doesn't sit right with me, and I don't think I'm going to be keeping this one. I think I'll probably pass it on to somebody else. And I don't think I should have picked it up in the first place, because I knew about some of these things before I went into them, and I knew there were things that wouldn't sit right with me. But I also thought to myself, well, if I do end up really liking it, and I don't have this pretty hardback, I'm going to regret not buying it. So, I don't know. No regrets, but I probably will be passing this on to somebody else once I've finished it. So those are two books I'm currently reading. I am also going to start Once Upon a Broken Heart today. I'm determined to start this today, because I am going to use the next few days before me and Mum go away to get some reading done, because I need to get ahead on my reading a bit, and I feel like once I start this I'm hopefully going to be very drawn in and want to read it quite a lot. So I'm going to finish today's pages for This Poison Heart, and then I'm moving on to Once Upon a Broken Heart. But that is my plan. Anyway, I thought I'd just give you a quick update on where I am in my readathons and my TBR for this month. So far in my TBR game I had 5 books I needed to read, and I have read 3 of them. So I've read Empire the Vampire, The Quick and Hurricane Child, and I need to read Once Upon a Broken Heart and A Beautifully Foolish Endeavour, which I'm hoping will also be a really quick read, because I read the first one in less than a day, so hopefully that one will be quite quick. And then in my bookoplathon TBR I also had 5 books, and I've read 4 of them and have 1 left to read, I think. Well, I'm in the middle of another, so I've read 3, I'm in the middle of another, and I need to read 1. So I've read Sense and Sensibility, Keith's Delivery Service, and She's Too Pretty to Burn, and I'm in the middle of This Poison Heart, and I need to read The Death Cure. And then in my magical readathon TBR there is 7 books, and I've read 4 of them and have 3 yet to read. So I've read Defy the Night, The Quick and Emperor the Vampire, and She's Too Pretty to Burn. I need to read Beautifully Foolish Endeavour, Once Upon a Broken Heart, and of Curses and Kisses, which stands out because it's the only one that isn't on multiple TBRs, I think, because I have done quite a crossover with these. So yeah, I need to still read Once Upon a Broken Heart, A Beautiful Foolish Endeavour, Of Curses and Kisses, and The Death Cure this month, and I need to finish This Poison Heart. So, I felt like I'd be in a lot better place if any of those books were on audiobook, but because they're not, I'm having to pick different audiobooks, which is taking up my audiobook time. However, I will try and push through. I have a busy week kind of ahead of me, a busy couple of weeks, and after next week things are going to get a lot busier because I start back at uni. For those of you that don't know, I am going into my last year, my third year, as a publishing and English language student. I major in publishing and minor in English language. This is my third year, meaning I will be doing a dissertation. And I also work 2 jobs as a Waterstones bookseller and as a vegan baker 1 day a week. So things are about to get a lot more hectic. You will obviously see this in vlogs if I manage to keep on top of them, which hopefully I will. But I know I need to be more structured going ahead. I probably won't be reading quite as much, but we will see going ahead how that all pans out. But make sure you check out my future vlogs to see how that goes. But I know that I'm gonna get a lot busier, especially after me and Mum go to London. It's kind of like all systems go. So gonna use this week as a little break to try and catch up on stuff and do some reading before I probably won't have as much time as I do right now. So wish me luck. I'm going to take you along with me on this little ride this week and see how much I can possibly read. So today I want to finish my pages for This Poison Heart. I only have about 30 left for today, and then try and hit myself in the face and try and make some headway with Once Upon a Broken Heart. So I will update you later with how I'm finding those. Hi, it is Wednesday. I'm actually going into uni today for the first time this year. I was going to say academic year, but basically the first time this year. I think I've been in for one thing so far this year. But yeah, we are actually going back to full timetable because our classes are really small and they can like social distance us really easily. And my uni, to be fair, last year when I was in for like 1 class a week was pretty sensible with things, so I'm hoping they will also be sensible this year. As I said yesterday, I'm going into my final year, and today me and a friend are going to the Freshers Fair, but I think it's for like every year. And I also have like an induction type thing for 3rd year today, so I'm going in for that, which is exciting. Excited to be back in the uni cafe because me and my friend absolutely loved that cafe in 1st year. But anyway, you know, the things you miss. Anyway, on to my reading. I read a little bit more of This Poison Heart after I spoke to you yesterday, and I'm really, really enjoying it still. I feel like every time I finish a day's pages, I am on a cliffhanger and I want to read on, and I just reminded myself of the last line yesterday. And I just want to read this, it's so good. I really, really like Kalynn Bayron's writing, and I think I actually might be preferring this slightly to Cinderella is Dead, because I just really, really like the kind of modern feeling of it, with it being in the real world, but Breezes has this power. I really like that. I think that's really cool. I also started Once Upon a Broken Heart. I'm surprised that this foiling is holding up so well, seeing as I'm like completely physically reading it, but it's not really wearing off very much at all, and I am over halfway now. I'm 257 pages, yeah, out of 402. So I read about 200 pages yesterday, and I've read about 50 pages this morning because this is such a quick read, which I love. It is so easy to get through, it's so easy to read. Honestly, I am falling for this book, which I love, I love. I don't think it's going to be quite a 5-star, which makes me sad, but I think it's going to be pretty damn close because I really, really like this. I really loved Caraval and it was a 5-star for me, and then the other 2 were not quite 5 stars, but this one definitely seems to have captured some of the magic that was in the original Caraval story, like the original book, which I absolutely loved. Because I feel like the thing is with Caraval is after you've read the first book, it kind of lifts a veil and you see behind the scenes, and then the other 2 books you understand more about the magic and you don't feel as like captivated by it because you know what's going on a bit more, so I feel like you're not quite as lost in it. Whereas in this one, because it's like quite a different story, I do feel like I'm having some of that magic back. There is also some amazing animals in here and some food, which I absolutely love the discussions of those things, because little fire dragons that make your apples go all caramelly. I am here for that. The kind of like city market vibe with these little dragons flying around and all this delicious food is exactly what I want from a fantasy book. And I was reading that last night and I just messaged Courtney and I was like, I love this book. It is so, so beautifully written and I really like the characters. It's really intriguing. Again, like I'll put it down and the last chapter will have just ended on a cliffhanger and I'll need to like want to know what happens. So I'm really, really glad because I have about 5 editions of this book pre-ordered and I was a little bit concerned that I wouldn't like fall in love with it in the way that I wanted to, but I have. It is beautiful, really, really enjoying it, and I like how like there is this kind of romance plot, but there is other plots that are going on in this world that are equally important or more important, which I really, really like from a fantasy. I don't want like complete romance a lot of the time. So, very much enjoying this. I feel like if you did enjoy Caraval, you will love it. Although Stephanie Garber has said you don't have to read Caraval before reading this, I would still suggest it because it follows some of the same characters. And although a lot of the stuff isn't direct spoilers as such, I feel like it would give you more of an inclination of how Caraval works, and you won't get that kind of magical feeling that you might get otherwise, because Caraval really, really gives me a feeling of being completely captivated with a world that I don't know if I've had from another book, especially the first time I read it. So I think I would still recommend you read Caraval first if you are thinking of reading this, but I can also see why you don't have to read it before. If that makes sense, because this is kind of a completely different story, so it's up to you, but I would recommend you read Caraval first, just to give you that feeling of Caraval, because it's amazing. But anyway, I'm really, really liking this book. I'm really liking this Poison Heart. I'm very excited about my reading at the moment, which I love feeling like I really, really want to read, so I'm having some good reading times. I am going to, on a different scale, going to go and listen to more of Jay's Gay Agenda on my way to uni while I drive, which, you know, I'm not getting all the magical reading feels from this one, but I'll probably finish it today or tomorrow, I think, because I don't have that much to go. I have about 3 hours of the audiobook left, maybe, so we will see how I find that, but probably finish it today or tomorrow. But yeah, I'm definitely really, really enjoying these two a lot. So I'm gonna go to uni now and I will catch up with you at some other point. I'm also seeing Courtney today and we're going out for dinner and to get not Christmas decorations, Halloween fall decorations, hopefully. I went to a shop the other week, which I did feature in a vlog, and I ended up just buying candles because I was a little bit disappointed by the decor section, and I really want to find some good like autumnal stuff, so make a big thing about autumn because I love autumn. So hopefully today we'll find some better stuff. Later on tonight me and Courtney are going to go shopping, so I'll take you along for that as well, so I'll see you then. I have finished 2 books since I last spoke to you. It is Thursday. It's the big day. Me and my mum are off to London today, going to see Autumn tonight, which is very exciting, and spend a couple of days in the city, which is terrifying. I am looking forward to going back because I spent so much time there at the end of 2019 and early 2020 that I do kind of miss it, and I've had some really nice times in London. But it has been a while since I was last there, and I'm hoping I can still kind of remember my way around and how to get around and use the tube and stuff. But it'll be fine. I'm sure I'll get back on my feet very quickly. I'm very excited to visit some bookshops hopefully while we're down there and drag my mum around the big bookshops in London that I really miss. But anyway, yeah, I finished 2 books since I last spoke to you. I finished Jay's Gay Agenda this morning. I haven't moved my bookmark yet, but I finished the audiobook of this morning, and it's just not great. Like, I think I'm still gonna give it 2 stars. Jay does have kind of a redemption arc, which is what I expected, but as I also expected, I didn't feel like that was enough at all. Even though he kind of does realise what went wrong, I actually really wanted this to end in a different way, because there is a certain character that I absolutely love in this book that I don't want to get hurt, and I just feel like yeah, I just feel like he shouldn't have made the decision that he did at the end of this book, but what can you do? There was good elements about this book, don't get me wrong. I can see the intentions behind Jay as a character, and even though he is a bit of a dick throughout this entire book, he just doesn't come across very well at all. It wasn't for me, especially with the kind of lying and cheating and stuff. It really just doesn't sit well with me at all. So, although I'm kind of glad I did this give a go, wow. Although I am kind of glad I gave this a go, it's not one I'd really recommend, and I will be passing it along or giving it to charity, because I was honestly thinking, like, I don't really want to pass this on to any of my friends because I really didn't like it. Also, the pronoun thing was never addressed, and Max remained to be referred to as he, him throughout the entire book, and that never came up again, so that was another thing that made me kind of sad, and I wonder where that's come from, but oh well, I read a book. On a more positive note, I finished Once Upon a Broken Heart last night. This has kind of started rubbing off a little bit, which makes me sad. I actually don't think that happened when I was reading it, but I was carrying it around yesterday and I think I knocked it against my bookmark that was in my other book. But anyway, I finished it and I really liked it. I absolutely sped through this book. I read like 200 pages over each day over 2 days and finished it yesterday. Just read it over 2 days, which I absolutely love. I felt like I was very drawn into this magical world. I was really happy to be back with these characters, and it definitely gave me the enticing magical feeling that Caraval did, but I liked that this was a completely different story as well, and it had quite a different feeling to Caraval. Some of my favourite elements of this were the setting, the location, the market that was around there. I found that very vivid. I really liked it. It was very magical. There were some other elements about food and animals that I absolutely loved, and also gave a lot of magic to this world, which I really liked. I think the only thing I'm not going to rate this 5 stars, I think it's going to be a 4.5, and that's mainly because I didn't not necessarily get on board with the characters as much as I wanted to. They're not like new favourite characters or whatever, so I think because of that reason it won't be a 5-star, and I wasn't necessarily rooting for a particular romance throughout this. Feel like none of them are really portrayed enough to want to root for them. But it was a really good book, and thank you so much to Hodder for giving me the opportunity to read this one before it was released, because I absolutely love Stephanie Garber, I love this world, and I definitely do not regret the fact that I have 5 copies of this book on pre-order. So now I've finished Once Upon a Broken Heart, I picked up This Poison Heart again this morning, and I really like this one so far. I'm just over 200 pages in, so I'm over halfway now. And I'm going to take this away with me and hopefully read some more today and tomorrow and Saturday, but I'm really liking this so far. And there was also there was also an interaction with a girl that made me think that maybe Brie is bi or pan, which it's more diversity that we love to see, and I feel like this is something that Kalynn Bayron does really well, which I really like. And I also love, because Brie has 2 mums, I love how wholesome their relationship is. I just really like that as kind of side characters. It's really sweet. So yeah, really loving this. It is such a good Secret Garden retelling. I feel like, in my opinion, because I read The Secret Garden earlier this year, this is such a unique take on it, but also inherently has a lot of the original story without kind of you guessing where it's going to go. I really, really like it. I feel like it has the perfect balance of being inspired by The Secret Garden, not being exactly the same story. I think it's done really perfectly, honestly, and I'm really glad I'm reading it. So I'm also going to take away Of Curses and Kisses. I am not sure how I'm going to find this because I haven't actually read an entire book by this author, Sandia Menon. I have read a short story by the same author in Hungry Hearts, I think, and I really, really liked that short story, so I'm hoping that this one will be a really nice, easy read, because I still have 3 books on my TBR and I need to read them in about a week to finish them by the end of the month. So I'm going to take this away with me. Don't know how much time I'm going to get to read over the next few days, but hopefully I can at least start this and read some of it. So yeah, I'm going to head off because I think we are going to go down to London soon. But I will take you along for the journey as much as I can, so hopefully you will enjoy that. Hi, I am back from London. We literally just got back. It is Saturday. Feels like it should be like Sunday night or whatever, because it feels like we've been away for a weekend, but we haven't. But yeah, we are back. We've had a lovely time. It's been really nice to be back in London in a lot of ways. I wouldn't say like it's 100% comfortable all the time on the tube, like even though it's still effectively a condition of travel to wear a mask on the tube, I would say over half of people aren't, which I don't like, but we still had a really nice time. Got to walk around some really nice places. I had some great weather yesterday. I did buy a couple of books, which I will show you in a minute. But yeah, it's just been really nice to take my mum to some of the places that I really love in London, and to go to some places that I haven't been to for almost 2 years. So it's been nice like visiting some places that I used to kind of hang out in a lot, like Waterstones Piccadilly, which I absolutely love, and that is where I bought my 3 books that I bought in London. I feel like 3 is pretty decent considering there is usually a lot of books, especially in foils, that I don't see anywhere else because they're American, and those are the ones that I bought in Waterstones Piccadilly, which I will show you. But yeah, it's been really, really good, but also glad to be home because we haven't really slept very well the past 2 nights. It's just been really noisy and hot, but yeah, glad to be back in my own bed tonight. But it's been really good. I haven't got that much reading done while we've been away. I am this far through Cinderella is Dead, not Cinderella is Dead, the new one, This Poison Heart. So I don't think I've read that much while I've been there, but I read some. I am now 259 pages in, and I'm kind of hoping to maybe finish this today because I'm quite behind on my TBR now, and I still have 3 more books to read in September, which is by Thursday. So I don't know if I'm going to manage that, but hopefully I will try and pick up Of Curses and Kisses at some point today or tomorrow. But I'm really enjoying This Poison Heart still. It's really, really good. Nothing like more to say really, but I am still really, really enjoying it, and looking forward to seeing where it goes in the next, I don't know, 100 pages or so that I have left, which hopefully I will finish today somehow. We will see. So I am going to wrap up this vlog today as I am working tomorrow, and it would be nice just to get home and do some reading and not have to wrap up this video because yeah, I'm back at work. So we'll see you again on Monday, but before we go I am just going to show you the books that I bought in London, and also I have a delivery that arrived while we were gone. So the first book I bought was Charming as a Verb. These were all from Waterstones Piccadilly, and there was a table with like American hardbacks which I called the Table of Weakness because I just wanted most of the books on it. I love seeing American hardbacks, they are so hard to get in the UK sometimes, and I've had this one on my TBR for a long time. And I think this one is a contemporary romance, a YA romance, that follows Henry, who is a star debater and popular student, and he's also a dog walker for the wealthy New York City neighbours. But his easy smiles make a burning ambition to attend his dream college, which is Columbia University. Yet there is only one person who seems immune to his charms, his intense classmate and neighbour, Corinne Troy. So she uncovers Henry's less than honest dog walking scheme and blackmails him to help her change her image at school. Henry agrees, seeing a potential upside for himself. Soon what started as a mutual hustle turns into something more surprising than either of them bargained for. So this one sounds really good. I've seen it around for a long time, so I thought I would pick it up, and I really, really love this cover and the hardback itself, but yeah, this cover is gorgeous. I also picked up Last Chance Books, which I have been wanting to read for a while, and I think this is published by Harper. Yeah, this is a Harper book, and again, we don't often see these in the UK, but they are kind of coming over here now. And I did apply for a proof of this one, but I didn't get one, unfortunately. So when I saw this, I really wanted to read this. I think this is a romance, but it's also about a bookshop. So the main character, Madeline Moore, her parents or her family own a bookshop called Books and More, and then a prologue, which is like their chain bookstore in the books, opens across the street, which she then tries to destroy. But then she starts falling for this guy Jasper who works there. So this one's really interesting. It's absolutely beautiful hardback, and I was just really happy and I couldn't resist picking it up. And then there was one that I actually haven't ever seen before, but I saw this cover and I just couldn't resist it because I don't know if you can see how like reflective this is, but it's absolutely gorgeous, and the spine is absolutely beautiful as well. And this is called The Wild Ones, and I think this is like a fantasy book that is just really, really pretty. And again, it's an American hardback, and it's about girls who've tasted the worst the world can offer. And I think it's about girls that possess magic. It sounds really, really good, and I thought it'd be good to pick up something that was different and have like a fantasy as well as two contemporary romances, and it just sounds amazing. It's really, really pretty and has some really good reviews, so very excited to pick this one up as well and add these three to my shelves, although I don't know where they're going to fit, but we'll figure that out. So then I also have, I just hit myself in the face with that. We also have a Fairy Loot parcel that arrived literally an hour after I left on Thursday, but let's open it now. So I do know what this book is. I ordered it a long time ago and it was actually released in August, and it's finally come through in this beautiful Fairy Loot edition, and this is Gods and Monsters by Shelby McEwen. So this is the last one in the Serpent and Dove trilogy. It has really, really pretty silver sprayed edges, which I don't know if you'll be able to see because they're very, very pale, but they match the cover really, really well. I have the Fairy Loot editions of the first two, and I absolutely love Serpent and Dove. It was my second favourite book of 2020. I have been yet to carry on with the series because I've kind of been waiting for this one to come out, and then I ordered the Fairy Loot edition, which is signed, has these amazing end papers. Lovely hardback, which is just a plain one, but it's really, really pretty, and has some art on the inside of the dust jacket. But yeah, I couldn't resist completing my Fairy Loot set of these. I do want to carry on with the series very soon. Hopefully I'll get to it by the end of the year. I think Alexa wants to buddy read this one as well, so hopefully we'll be able to do that. But it's finally here. I can't wait to carry on with the series, and I think I'm gonna reread Serpent and Dove while Alex reads it for the first time, so that will be exciting, but hopefully we'll be able to do that soon. So keep an eye out for one of my vlogs where hopefully I will be rereading and reading Serpent and Dove, the whole trilogy, which is cool. But anyway, I'm gonna go wrap up this vlog. I'm very, very tired, so I just need to kind of chill out tonight, hopefully finish this Poison Heart, and then go to work tomorrow. And I hope you will join me in my next weekly reading vlog, which will be not quite as exciting, but I do start back at uni for my final year, so things are gonna get busy, and see me try and fit in 3 books in that vlog by Thursday. So I don't know, might be a bit of a challenge. We will see whether I can squeeze that in, especially with classes starting up again, but maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't, we'll see. But if you would like to join me for that one, then please subscribe to the channel to see more weekly reading vlogs and book discussions and other things. If you did enjoy this, please give it a like and comment down below, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.